Hello friends, and welcome to Fun with Cheese, episode 63. Wanted to do a little spin on it today, and our friends of the show, definitely going to be Nasonville Dairy here in the heart of Nasonville, Wisconsin, town of Lincoln, Wood County, Wisconsin. Those of you who don't know where this is at, it's right on Highway 10. Like, you could spit out the window and you'd be that close to the store right here. They have the Wisconsin, Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin labels here, the same thing you see in my hat. And we're up in the third floor in the conference room, and I am with Kim Heiman, who is one of the brothers that run this beautiful place here, and he's going to talk us through milk components. And we want to talk about milk safety and testing, and then all the different things that we do with milk. That it used to be a different way, that the whey was that was our throw-out product, right? And there's the technology that's right here in Marshfield, Wisconsin, has just come to that point where nothing goes to waste. And I was down in the intake room, and the whey product and lactose was heading out to Lynn to get dried and things like that. So I'm going to let Kim do the talking today, because he is a master in his craft, and he's got a really cool demo for us today.
Okay, you all set, Mark?
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your show. This is fantastic. So today we're going to do a little thing we like to call Cheesemaking 101. We're going to go through things a little quick here, show you the different characteristics, how the milk changes in the forms to get it from milk into cheese. So first of all, we got to find out it takes 10 pounds of milk to make 1 pound of cheese. So milk is 8.6 pounds per gallon. So basically we've got just about 5 quarts of milk to make this 1 pound of cheese. Now I've got 1 pound that's colored and 1 pound that's white. You ask me, you wonder why I do that? I'll show you in just a little bit. So the first thing we'll do is we'll start with our raw milk off of the farm. We run that through a pasteurizer. The pasteurizer will heat it to 162 degrees for a minimum of 16 seconds, and then cool it back down to 88 degrees, and we'll send it into the vat. The pasteurization kills all of the bacteria in the milk. So what we have is a pure product going into our vats. We add called a starter culture, which is like a good bacteria. We need that for the cheese to grow and to ferment and to start out. Now, getting to what I was telling you earlier, colored and white. This is how we make colored cheese. We take some annatto seed coloring, pour a little bit into the milk. It's a little over exaggerated on the color, but that's the difference between, now if you like white cheese better than colored cheese, that's the difference, is the annatto seed coloring, and it has no flavor. The reason that sometimes they taste different is the different profiles that they're made. They may use a different starter culture, because one of these may be ending up as a shredded cheese for a pizza. One of them may be ended up into a sliced cheese for a cheeseburger or something. So the reason that there's a taste difference is because of the starter cultures and the way they're made. Otherwise, if you had a blind taste test, one with colored curd, one with white curd, made to the same formula, they should taste the same. So after we get the cheese or the milk, and we've got the starter in it, then the vat is filled, then we'll put in what's called an enzyme. The enzyme is a rennet. Traditionally, rennet was made from a calf's stomach. It was an enzyme from a calf's stomach that helped to curdle the milk. So now we use it, it's called a mucor mihi, and it's from a clone process. It actually comes from a plant. And so therefore it makes it kosher, makes it vegan. It's a 100% usable product then. So you can see the whey is starting to separate a little bit, but you can see that the milk has solidified here. This is a coagulated milk. So this is when the cheese will actually start to form after you put the rennet in. Once we get that done, our vats run in a circular motion. We run the knives in reverse. They're sharp on one side and dull on the other. So when they're in a stir mode, the dull side's going first. When they're in the cutting mode, they run in reverse and the sharp side turns. What that does is it'll separate the curd from the whey. So then we'll have this small amount of 90% of this is going to be whey, 10% of the vat is going to be cheese, and that'll agitate together. We'll heat that to about 102 degrees. Once we get that heated up, then we'll bring it out of what we call our cook vats into our finishing tables. On the finishing tables, it's a table that has a screen down the center, allows all the whey to come off the bottom. The agitator continually turns the cheese on top, because as I said, cheese is a growing organism. It likes to knit itself back together, so you want to keep it in constant agitation Otherwise you'll have it all knitted into a large ball. Once you've got that done, so you end up with, as you can see, this cheese has been sitting around for a little while. It's kind of formed itself back together. So if you were to take this and have, say my finger was an agitator, it would break it back up again. After we've got that cheese onto the table, we'll let that wait for about a half an hour. We'll get to the pH that we want on that whey, and then we'll salt that. Our vats hold about 4,500 pounds of cheese, so we'll use about 120 pounds of salt on that. The salt will work in. From there, it's drawn off of that right into our towers and put into the 40-pound block forms and goes to the cooler. Now we'll get to what happens with the whey. So after we've taken the whey all off of the vat, this is what we've got. We've got a whey product. This was 90% of our milk. The first thing we'll do is we run it through a separator. A separator is a centrifuge, and it spins at about 4,000 RPM. And what it does is separate the cream from the whey. The cream is actually the lightest part of the milk, so that'll stay into the center part, and the solids of the whey move to the outside. The cream is pulled back off of these separators, and our cream is sold to Grassland, and they make butter out of it. Then after we've taken the cream out, then we'll take the whey, what's left, and run it through an ultrafiltration system. Ultrafiltration uses a series of membranes, and it uses it at an amount of pressure. It'll separate the whey protein molecule from the rest of the whey. The whey protein molecule, you'll see this, we'll send it out in a liquid form, but it'll go to another facility where they'll dry that down into the powdered forms. This is what you see in the high energy drinks, the people that have for rebuilding muscle or maintaining muscle, things like that. But you also see it into the baby formulas, into cookies, candy bars, things like that. So it's a great additive and it's a great food supplement. Then what's left is, after we pulled that out, we'll take what's left from there and we'll run it through a RO system, a reverse osmosis system. Uses another series of membranes with a higher pressure. What that's doing is separating the lactose molecule. Lactose is the milk sugar that's into milk itself. You've seen the ads before. The body doesn't care what kind of sugar. If it's cane sugar, corn sugar, milk sugar, it's still sugar. And that's what it's used for, is a sugar supplement. But then you'll also see it's used in the pharmaceutical side of industry. It's used in your toothpaste, your makeups. It's a number of different things. Actually, a company just AMV Process Systems ran a test pilot here at Nasonville about 2 years ago. They were able to use the lactose to produce a methane gas using an anaerobic digester. What that will do, and it's still in its infancy, it isn't able to, you can't do it yet because it's not cash feasible to do it right now, but give it another 10 to 20 years, it probably will be. What will happen at that time is cheese making will become a negative carbon footprint industry, because you'll be able to produce more energy off of your waste product than what you use to create your product. So that's just something that's in the future, coming down the pipeline. Just keep watching for it. Then what we have left is called cow water. And it's called cow water, but it really has nothing to do with the cow itself. It's just cow water is the derivative of condensate of whey. So this is what's left. We started out with the milk. We've taken out our cheese. We've taken out our whey, our cream, our whey protein concentrate, our lactose. Now we have this cow water. What do you do with the cow water? It's a demineralized water, so it's really soft. You've come through, it's run through an ultrafiltration system, it's run through an RO system. So you've got a real soft water here. We run this actually through another polisher to get out any more organics that might be in it. And then we can reuse this water in our pre-rinses and in our wash waters. And the reason that this is so great is because of it being soft water, you can use a less amount of detergents, acids, chlorinated cleaners, things like that, because you have soft water, so you can use a less amount of detergent and get the same cleaning factor. The other thing is it's about 105 to 110 degrees. So therefore, you use a boatload of less BTUs to heat your water up. It works out fantastic for that. The rest of that just goes down the drain with the rest of our wash waters and things here. It gets treated at our wastewater facility here, and we'll treat and release about 150,000 gallons of water back into the Yellow River every day. So that's just kind of it in a nutshell, Mark.
So what you're talking about here, this is standard for the industry. Nobody just land spreads whey anymore. The whey is such a valuable product that if you don't have a whey treatment facility, you're finding a place to take that whey because it has value and you can sell that whey.
Exactly right. If you're a smaller facility and you don't see the cash value of being able to put in your own ultrafiltration system and RO system, you're selling your raw whey to a facility, whether it be a Lynn Dairy or a Mullins Cheese or a Wisconsin Dairy State Cheese or Nasonville or somebody like that. You're selling your whey product to somebody else who can break it down because there's a profit into that. And that all gets, and all of those are actually incorporated back into the milk price. So if you're not getting anything out of your whey value, you're really falling behind on what you're paying for your milk price to the farm.
So this is really cool, and I really appreciate you guys letting us do this. And I think it's great for our audience and people who are going to be seeing this, that this is standard for the industry, and this is the care and the environmental stewardship that goes into cheese making and things like that. And really appreciate you letting me come in and you doing this demonstration for us today. And I think that the rest of the crew is going to really enjoy this when they get to see it this afternoon and tonight. But thanks for debunking the myths on yellow cheese versus white cheese. And
it's as much, cheese making is as much chemistry as it is artistry. So you need the chemistry, you need to be able to have the right starter cultures that are going to produce the acid developments and things that you want. But you have to have the artistry to decide what texture, what flavor, what type of body texture do you want onto that product. So it's a combination of both, and we're really happy. We have a fantastic group here, and we love to work with you and your group over there too. I mean, they're fantastic, great group of young people.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow for episode 64 of Fun with Cheese. I think we're going to be out at the dairy tomorrow, and we're going to show you intake into a milk truck, and we're going to take you guys for a milk truck ride over from Heiman Holsteins to Weber's Farm Store. So you guys be good, and remember that this is milk step into immortality. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.